So yeah, I mean, you just share that. That was a better entry than mine. Let me bring up my chart here because I have a couple of things that I was looking at yesterday. In fact, we talked about this, right? Let me just make that thing big, and there we go. So let me zoom out a little bit. I know it's a little bit spaghetti-ish, so bear with me, guys. Remember that yesterday I was looking for this double bottom. In fact, look at where my double bottom was, right? I mean, it's not exactly what it happened, but absolutely the place that I was looking for. Remember that the place that I was actually looking for was between this trend line in here, right? And this other trend line right down here, and also the dynamic reactor. So what happened? It is that we went into my entry point in here. I waited one more candle because we were reversing right down here. We already have a bullish divergence, right? And also, guys, remember that I was looking for that also double bottom, right? And at that double bottom flip of the ribbon, that was my entry. So what I did exactly that. What happens right here? We already have what we had that bottoming on the ribbon. One candle after, that's when I start entering right here. I did went before the candle closed. I need to be honest there. Why? Because I already have a flip, not a flip of the ribbon, sorry, a reversal down here. And not only because that, look at that beautiful absorption wick at the bottom. I love when I have those wicks. I've been talking about like that for crazy, like a crazy man for a long time. You see those? So basically, I did the same thing at candle close or almost kind of close, and then right at TP number one here at the trend line. TP number two here, haven't been taking it already, moved stop to entry. So man, this was juicy. I still on the trade. We'll see because let me just zoom out. I yesterday throughout the class of yesterday, this is what I was looking at 4 hour. So that is my entry based on the 4 hour. It's playing out very nicely, right? Not only that, remember where we have this kind of like a support area right down here? Well, we're getting there, right? So that's why I already have taken some profits, waiting a little bit. Why? Because this is the box that I think that we're gonna be going to and then ranging if Donald Trump wins, right? So for example, going up, going back down and ranging throughout that box. That doesn't mean that we're gonna do exactly this, but also it is a resistance area, right? And I think this is gonna be the box where we're gonna be ranging if Kamala wins, right? Having a little bit of a pullback, going back up, and then ranging in this area. I did readjust this because based on the on yesterday's class, it was like that. All right. So just so you are completely aware, and we're up on tip top here. There we go. Look at that, 62.37. Okay, this is guys. Yesterday I asked on the Piper Academy, what would you rather have, power or money? Right? Depending on who you are, you gotta go for one or another. I'd rather have money, but if we're talking about politics, I'd rather have power because you can squeeze money out of anyone with power, right? That being said, I still think that depending on where the search kind of like points the difference right now, it's still not that different. Still not that different. We might be having something like Kamala winning. All right. I'm not saying that I want her to win. I'm not telling you who to vote for. Not at all. This is not it. All right. What I'm saying it is because we see power being behold, by the party, of course, on office, right? I think they can do some things, right, that might give them the head start. We're seeing right now as Alex O Crypto shares a picture that it is right now 62. The poll is 62.7 against 37.5. We're seeing the gap being breached in here. So I think it's gonna be pretty interesting, and I believe because of that bridge, we are seeing my prediction taking place, right? So as we see Donald Trump taking the lead, I think we're gonna be seeing the price going up. This is not all said and done. Remember that this is gonna fluctuate. All right. Nonetheless, already into a long. Great. Hopefully you guys also took that long. And yeah, I mean at this point, I'm just risk of just looking to see how far can I get with this long. And yeah. Hey, Crypto Pollo, how's it going, my friend? So,
Cluck,
Alex, let me throw
cluck.
it back to you. Yeah, what's up?
Oh yeah, what's going on, Pollo? How you doing, brother?
Good
Billy
man,
Goat Tales
good.
tonight, man. Yeah, man.
Pollo's in a long.
Well, I don't know if you saw what I said on Sunday. I told you that 200 EMA butte. I took that trade, and that was a banger, man. Still being a
Let's
banger.
go.
Yeah, and I had put small positions on some legacy OG coins. They're meant for swings,
That's
so but they're
smart.
up so much. They're up so much that I've put all my stops in 40% profit. Haven't TP'd on them because they were set for swings, but you gotta take profit, right? So, but I will say my meme degenerate goat because hey, Billy Goat tails. So I took a goat trade. That one's up 350% after I've added. So um kind of exciting, man. A little bit exciting. You know,
That's
I
awesome.
I'm now 4 months profitable. So a lot of work to get there. So I'm super happy and thanks to you guys as well. But yeah, man, I keep on going. I finally got a good strategy and journaling and risk management. For anybody who wants to get to that level, you journal and you become a master of risk, and you don't even have to be a good trader if you're a master of risk. But you're showing there, Alex.
Journals.
Yeah, the journal.
Journals, baby. I mean, you got to be able to do they talk about businesses, right? Businesses do inventories, right? So if I'm selling whatever, if I'm selling a vacuum and if I got a vacuum that's like a Dyson from 1970, you think that shit's going to sell? I mean, I got to get rid of that and bring in the new stuff, right? I got to be always taking inventory as a business and seeing how I can be better. I think that's why we journal. I mean, I have a weekly review and a monthly review for myself every single time, right? And it's like, okay, what can I do better? What like I review my trading days, but I try to go a little bit more in depth with myself on a Sunday, just to kind of be like, okay, I could have held that longer. Okay, good thing I stayed out there, right? I'll even mark out on my chart where I was thinking about taking a trade and my direction and all that stuff. So I think it's so important and trading the plan, not the thoughts, right? Like, oh, it's gonna go up from here. Everybody, Donald Trump, yada yada yada. Like that. That's exactly what happened this morning. Like, if I'm gonna share my screen here, that's, I mean, so many people like FOMOing in, and I mean, I'm not even in my live streams like, okay, we get a very clean break this morning, but we know liquidity resides down below here. So for me, this morning, I was looking for a simple swing down into here. We had a 382 VWAP of volume support level right in here. So I'm like, if price comes into here, I will go long. Okay. And that was my plan. Now what happened? We got a breakout, right? We got the breakout. What happened is so many people, like I always on my live stream, like, did you get long? Let me know in the chat, right? And people were like, "Yeah, I'm long, I'm long, I'm long, I'm long, I'm long," right? And what happened to those people? If they didn't pay themselves, they were definitely knocked out of their position, right? And like, of course, we all get in the FOMO and the itch to trade during Mr. Donald Trump days, right? But really, it's like, we got to be cautious here, in my opinion, right? Like, to me, we have created a ton of liquidity coming up this quick. I gave the long from down here, Pollo. Like, I mean, I nailed this to the dollar. Like, absolutely crushed this trade uh
Beautiful.
last night. So, I mean, that's beautiful. But I've paid myself, right? I woke up this morning, took some profits. I don't typically hold them overnight, but I mean, this thing bounced so aggressively that like, so you get long here, right? And then it bounces so aggressively, like your stop loss is like in profits already, and you can chill on that, right? But nonetheless, what is good though is that like you can't fall into the trap, right? The market maker is always setting a trap, as you know, right? So what is the trap here? We're creating liquidity on the way up, right? So either we're sweeping the lows or we're breaking out. There's two options, right? If you're breaking out, you look for your retest and continuation. We didn't get it. Price shoots up all the way up to the highs, right? Mitigates the highs. Now you can be looking for what? A bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence coming down, wrecking them because you know all this liquidity resides down here. So that's your second option. That's why you're also not FOMOing in at the top, right? Then you break out of key support, right? You flip that support. So now you're looking for a retest continuation of the support line. What did you get? A retest of the previous highs right into here of the previous highs and continuation up, okay? But what happened is if you're buying on this breakout, they're coming back for you, right? So I mean,
Alex, I can't see your chart by the way. It says you
yeah.
minimize the notification. I thought
Yeah, same thing here.
Okay.
Cannot see your charts.
Oh, it's not showing?
it
That's
says
weird. I can
your
rejoin.
yeah, it says that your application is minimized.
Oh, that's weird. Switch to your application to resume. Okay.
You're frozen? Oh, I see. Oh, too much coffee there.
Whoa. I think my internet just surged or something. Yeah. No, we're good now?
Yes.
Everything just reset. Like my whole computer just froze. That's crazy. Must be the internet here. Okay, we're good. Fiber, you pay for fiber, direct line. So yeah, so you got the breakout here, the break through the tops. So like I was talking about before, so you break out here, you have the possibility for a swing failure in here, bearish divergence. That's why you're not longing here. You break the key support level here, which is also a mitigation of market structure. So if you're Pollo, you're watching this, right? So you can see you're breaking the highs here. So what are you looking for? Break a structure up. Now you're looking for this long, right? Because you've changed this downtrend. So that's, I'm sure, on Pollo's mind right now is that, hey, this is showing strength of a move upwards. We're looking for that retest and continuation now that we've mitigated this high
Yeah,
in here, right? So he's looking
Alex
at
Alex
that,
knows me, man. Alex knows
right?
me.
So and then now you've broken up, but people who are getting long here, it's that thought. Okay, we've mitigated this high. So now we're waiting for what? The retest of that high or a little bit lower, right? So you don't press buy here because you see upwards candles. You wait for this and you get long here. Okay. Now I didn't get long here. What I did do, and you guys are privy to this information, I guess, is that we have now started to build the Ethereum swing long. Okay. So if we're looking here, I have now gotten into a swing long up to all-time highs. This is more of a long swing inverse perpetual trade that I'm looking for on Ethereum. Okay, so you guys are aware of this now. I am in this trade now. I have a stop loss below these lows here, and we'll see if we can get back up to those all-time highs. But this is in anticipation. If Mr. Orange Man wins, I do think we can go to the moon. So I am now in this trade, and I'm up a little bit, but this is more of a swing trade for Ethereum, trying to get this big push back up to all-time highs. And we'll see if we get it. Nonetheless, that's something that I'm doing right now. And with Bitcoin, I mean, Orange Man, Kamala, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what do we know is that either way, they're both going to do what? They're both going to spend money. They're both going to spend money, which means up for a lot of assets, at least in the next year or so. So we should be looking at some nice profits if this does continue to push up. Our next stop is this big chunky 1 hour order block that we are coming in to fill as we speak. 2 hours, sorry, the 2 hour order block. We're kind of stuck in the middle between these two here. So we got one up here and one down here. If it's going to populate, maybe my internet. There we go. Look at that. It's like I was a fortune teller, right? So liquidity up at these highs here. Coming into this order block, trying to grab that. Remember, we are still in a downtrend on a macro. Okay, but we have not taken this low here. So what we were talking about with Pollo, with market structure, what does this mean? If we zoom out here and we understand market structure, what do we know about market structure? We need to mitigate lows in order to continue. right? So what happened is we are in this big uptrend, macro uptrend, okay? Significant low over here. See all the liquidity? We did not take that low. Therefore, this right now, mitigating this high here, is a suggestion for continuation because we did not come down in here. If we came down in here, we would be looking for this. Okay? But we're not because we have held this low over here and we are looking for this to return back up to at least where we were trading from before. Unless we come up here and do something like this, and then it's more corrective and you come down like this, okay? And you lose this low in here. That's different. But right now, this is just looking for this, okay? And that's what we're in. If we're in a macro trend, if we go out on a daily, what do we understand too? Is that we have put in lower highs all the way through here, right? Until we finally broke out right here. Then we pushed out into this high here, mitigating this high here. Therefore, we are looking for a continuation out, okay? Unless we lose this low over here, we are not looking for this thing to correct, okay? Right? This is still an uptrend. We can look for ABC correction if we lose this low. But if we don't lose this low, we are looking for continuation, okay? And keeping it very simple so you guys understand. So strength, by holding this low in here where liquidity resides, we have created a ish ton of liquidity throughout this whole uptrend, as we can see. Okay, there is tons of liquidity to be taken. However, we know that king liquidity is up here at 74,000. Okay, that's where most of it resides. Okay, so we can always see a sweep, but right now this is suggesting that we have continuation until we lose this low, which is significant now, which is the low that we just put in now. So this low is significant now. This low is also significant, but now it's up to this low. If we lose this low, we're looking for this. Okay, and that's where I'm at with kind of structure and looking for this to continue to fire off. It's looking juicy, baby. Let's go, Orange Man. Let's go. Pump my bags, baby.
I don't know,
Nice.
Alex, but whenever you talk about market structure, it kind of like just makes my day better, you know? So I'll say I don't know, like ever since I started learning structure, it puts so many things together for me for Confluence. You know, I still have a lot of learning to do, but yeah, man, market
It
structure.
allows you to trade with trend, right? It allows you to. I think if you're trading with trend, you're automatically putting 5% into your winning pool. You're automatically giving yourself. That's why they say trend is your friend, right? If you can get on the trend, you know, you ride that puppy, right? And identifying the trend is the hardest part, right? Because we're range bound 80% of the time. So if you can identify that trend and get on, you're gonna make money.
Yeah, you know, like before I wasn't into like CME gaps and stuff like that. But you know, I started back testing them and they typically do get filled. That's why I said I wanted to see that entire gap like filled, and we sure did. I thought we were gonna have a perfect bounce from that EMA, that 200 EMA. Uh, but we wicked a little bit under it, but I mean, I still caught that guy. You know, I had plenty of room. You know, didn't get stopped out or anything like that. But yeah, man, I had my purple CME gap, you know, and that I have on my chart on all my charts of the 4 hour 200 EMA. And we went under it a little bit, but it again, you know when you look for Confluence, I had a POC right there of that previous little macro range, and it, you know, the margin of error was less than 1%, so I was able to hit that trade, and it paid off very well. Still paying off.
Hey, Crypto Pollo, what are you looking at?
Pollo's
for
making good
crypto?
money.
Yes.
So
This guy's clucking,
I was
man.
trying to get into Reef. My level never got hit. I have 5 ETH waiting for an inverse. I'm kind of jelly, Alex, that you're already in there. On ETH, I literally have been looking at the same thing to get in an inverse on ETH. But right now my positions that I'm in, I'm into OG stuff right now, man. Legacy stuff, that a lot of people I think have forgotten about. So right now,
He's
my
trading
current
Litecoin.
no,
Watch
not
out.
like I'm not a Litecoin guy. So I'm in Algo, Lido, and Dot right now. And then my DGen play, which is just insanely up, is is Go. And I honestly, you can't really do TA on it. There's not enough information. I honestly saw it just hit like a bottom and like structure wise on low time frames and hit the trade just because of Billy Goat, like just because of Billy Goat Tails. I said, I gotta buy some goat, you know, and it's just worked out. That's all. It's just worked out. And like I'm up a
That's
stupid
amazing.
amount of money. My stop loss is at 200% profit on goat. So
Bah.
you know, so yeah, I do
Fuck
some
yeah.
degen stuff, but I have been looking at legacies. I think that okay, so I missed taking a trade on Doge, right? But so I have
No,
a
we
theory.
took Doge.
I have a theory. When you start to see OG coins start to take off, I think that's the first level of retail, what I call seasonal retail, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if the gaming narrative gums up, what ripped? Axie Infinity, right? Sand, mana, right? So I look at that and I'm like, well, who's gonna buy that? That just started, in the world of crypto. They're not gonna buy that. There's
Mm-hmm.
plenty of other gaming. You'll see Beamer big time for them. So I said, you know what? I have my eye on some projects. Lido, I've been a fan. And hey, don't think I wasn't shook. But the thing is, my entry on Lido's still, even with me adding, it's still 58 cents. So I'd have to.
Mm-hmm.
But Dot, I added like 200 to my spot bag at
Mm-hmm.
what is it at 373. So
Yeah, Dot's cooked, man. It can
Dot,
pump, bro.
Dot is one of those that I still think is a viable project. Uh I
Billy's done a lot of research on Dot. He says they're still working really hard on that. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, I'll
you have
tell you. So
developers going, right?
here's the hopium, right? Here's the hopium, and this has nothing to do with TA. This is straight up because there's nothing in the charts that are telling you, that it's gonna do something. But
Fundamentals, yeah.
here's the hopium, okay? Dot has been in conversation. You could look this up. Legitimate. Dot has been in conversations with decentralizing TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, where do you think Dot will be?
There you
So,
go, right?
so, I think that's not gonna. I don't even think that's gonna happen this cycle, and I will be dumping my Dot next year for sure. Win lose, I'm not gonna hold it, because I mean that's just this. I stick to my plan. But if Dot really does get that done, um, it's
Mhm.
gonna explode. I don't think about all time highs. I don't think a lot of the legacy coins are gonna hit all time highs again. I don't know if there's enough time. I mean, we'll see, right? I mean, but if Dot goes to 50 to $50 again, I mean, hey, I will my license tag on my McLaren's gonna say Dot. Put it like that. Put it like that.
Ah, my McLaren, let's go. He's a
Let's go.
McLaren guy. I'm more of a Ferrari guy, but let's go.
Hey, Ferrari's even more elegant, man. I just like I just like the look of McLaren, man. Everybody's
It's
about the
just British
Lambos.
engineering, bro. It's just gonna
Yeah.
fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't tell my wife I said that.
Oh man.
But yeah, man,
I
I mean
also.
that's been
Yeah, go ahead. Go
go
ahead. Sorry.
ahead. No, 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 no. That I think go ahead, Elsie.
I was just mentioning what were you looking for because you did mention that you were in legacy coins, and I'm also into legacy coins at this point, and I did explain that a couple of classes ago. So I want to just go touch back on that a little bit, So it is the class recording, guys. So I just share that the class recordings with you guys right here, and this is the place where you can go and watch all of the classes. And when we said, well, we talked about this yesterday or in 2 days, you come back right here, you see the classes per day. And for example, right here, you see that in minute 17:34, that is basically what I was just looking at the entry point, double top, double bottom, and then moving to the upside, right? Also, Alex was mentioning his strategy. Oh, where was it? Well, I lost it. He was mentioning his strategy. Oh, come on, Alex, where are you? Did I talk that much yesterday? Oh, oh, my friend. Oh, my lord. Well, guess I did talk a lot yesterday. So, so basically, just look for those class recordings if you have any questions. And then also, I talked about when we start seeing dominance, right? And also how to start looking altcoins. I usually think, and I did not have this on my radar until recently. Let's just say recently, 6 months, 7 months, something around those uh, time frame. That usually people go back to known places, right? Not new members, but remember, new members usually they get their money wrecked. That's also a good spot to do, I would say, flash trades. But if you look in maybe a longer time frame or a better movement or a more, let's just say just a more secure movement which respects TA better, I will say look at veterans, right? What veterans are doing. So what veterans do is they go back to known places, and those are legacy coins. So talking about legacy coins, I also was looking at Dot, and Dot. Let me bring it up here. I think I got it on my alerts. Yeah, there we go. Dot. So basically,
70,000. Let's
Dot.
go, Bitcoin.
What is
Sorry,
it?
I'm getting
Uh,
excited.
oh, nice. It's moving up,
Bitcoin's
right?
over 70,000. Yes.
Nice. So basically, we were expecting here a movement. We set an alert. I did have this one playing out here. Nonetheless, I also talked about today a possible breakout retest and also a breakout through the zero line. Are we there for the entry? Not just yet, but we are right now on a loud order block. So we need to see if we're going to be piercing through and going for that retest up here or retracing from here and maybe doing a triple bottom and then a possibility to re-entry, which is going to be giving us at the best case scenario at 8.42%. Doing something like 10x, well, then you will be talking about something around 48 without kind of like going with crazy, very volatile movements with some let's just call it meme coins, right, or S coins or whatever. So I think this is kind of like a more just call it stable way to reinvest your money on legacy coins. And also, I am trading Litecoin. So let me bring up really quick Litecoin.
Nah.
I am, man. What
Hey,
can I tell
he
you?
could be doing file. Hey, he could be worse. He could be doing file coins. So that
Well,
would
I need to
that
say
was bad
that
too, man.
my first mining rig was a Litecoin mining rig, and then my second mining rig was a Zencash, which is now well, no, it was yeah, Zencash. And I mean, I just have a special and Stellar, so I just have a special love for those coins. So let's take a look at LTC, because I still think that, I mean, it still had some. It's not dead yet, right? I mean, the project is, but the functionality might not be. And let me bring up before we take a look at that. This is what I look for legacy coins, right? It's just CoinGecko, and look at the numbers here. So I mean, you can take a look at BNB, Solana, XRP, stablecoin, Dogecoin. I mean, Tron, Cardano, Shiba, and there we go. Right here we have Avalanche. I did an analysis on Avalanche. We have Link. We also have Sui, so on and so forth, right? And right there, 23 dot. Guess what is right below 23? 24, of course, Litecoin, right? And near. So I think it's still worth to just at least give it a try, right? Give it a look. So in the macro scheme of things, I think we are capped at a little bit of a range in here. Let me use this free tool, which is my regression trend, and you'll see that we are at the bottom. we do have a strong signal, and we don't enter in strong signals. We enter on pullbacks, right? So I think this could be a good area if we do not pierce through it, if we flip off to execute a short. Or if we keep moving upwards, which I think that's going to be the case, that we're going to be pushing upwards, but we could be having a secondary movement to the downside, just like we had it here, or just like we had it here. I think that will be an opportunity to jump in for another little trading there. Once again, I mean, I'll go with these legacy coins because I don't think that we're going to go that low if we start crashing. I mean, of course that we can go lower, but let's go to a daily. There we go. But I would say that we already have reached lows at this cycle right here at 290. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Just wanted to put it on there. And what about Ravencoin? Oh, Ravencoin. I used to do also. Where was it? Ravencoin CPU mining exclusive? I think so, right? So I did mine Ravencoin, and I like Ravencoin, by the way. Did I skip it or something? So let me try back to you, Alex, or Crypto Pollo, whoever wants to take the lead. I want to know what is the main point that you don't like Litecoin.
Oh, it's not that I don't like Litecoin. It's just something I wouldn't trade per se. I think it has good use case. I mean, I know Retro Mike Tech mines it too quite. So I mean, it still has some use case, but I mean, I don't think Bitcoin is going to be used for payments. I think that'll be left to stable coins and transactions on like TRX or whatever. But talking to let's talk about inverse perpetual and how it works with, so we can explain that for Brorecol. So if we're looking at an inverse perpetual trade, what
And
we're doing is
Alex,
we're
one thing.
using
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Just one thing, just to remind the crowd, that's not a high leverage. Please don't do an inverse with high leverage. Please,
No,
for
no, no. You're
go ahead,
maximum
Alex.
like
I'll leave you at
five
that.
ten x my 510x, right? But you're using, if let's say you're trading Ethereum, right? And if you're looking to build this long, remember it's allocation too. So let me share my screen here. So I have exposure, right? I always talk about this too, right? So when taking a trade like this, you have exposure, then you have, so like even if Pollo says he's got 5 ETH, right? So let's say he's got 5 ETH. Let's say he puts in one right here. He gets in. Okay? He's planning for this to continue out, right? Let's say it comes down a little bit. Then he can put maybe 3 in here. Okay. So now he's got 4 in total and he's got 1 left on the sidelines. Okay. That brings his average price back down into here, right? And allowing him to still protect his risk, right? And these things are to be monitored. Then you want to have full allocation and you want to have your average price like as low as you possibly can get. And let's say you push up, you can bring that. Let's say you push up, you can add to the trade a little bit. And let's say you get an average buy-in of something like this, right? But at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is you're trying to take advantage of the asset going up and the price and the trade going up, right? So if you're going to make, and like we're looking to do is we're targeting the all-time high, right? So we're looking to make 70% on 5 ETH plus Ethereum going from $2,400 all the way to $4,000. So you're basically compounding your gains by trading like that. And you can open up, BingX has a good option for inverse perpetual futures. Okay, so you can do this with Bitcoin. You can do whatever is offered, but you're using the asset as collateral, not USDT. So you're putting Bitcoin on a Bitcoin trade, right? So if Bitcoin goes up, so does your value of your trade. So it's a quick way to make a quick buck, but it's also, remember, it goes down just as hard as it goes up. Okay, so let's remember that it is a shortcut to some good money, but let's not forget what happens if it goes down. That's why you want to use very low leverage and you want to ladder in and try to get the best kind of position possible where you can also manage your risk. All right. So like for us, we're looking to to risk 1,000 to make, you know, upwards of 15 grand if done correctly, right? So it takes a little bit of skill. I suggest maybe doing it on a smaller, maybe, you know, doing it on a smaller scale. So maybe you got like half an ETH or something like that, and you go 0.1, 0.2, 0.1 kind of deal and allocate that way. But we look to do this when we can tell the market is very oversold or very preparing for a big move, right? So you're looking to do this basically at the bottom of the market. You're looking to do this on the event of like a Bitcoin ETF. I did that one on Bitcoin over here at the $25,000 mark. So over here, just before January, I did a little inverse and I made a stupid amount of money. I felt like I was robbing the world right now. But I mean, in this area here, going into January, it was here, sorry, going into January, and I was underwater. I started here and I didn't expect this, so I allocated and I allocated, and then I had an average price like over here, and as soon as we got this, like, I mean, I took profits in here because I just felt like I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't because like, I mean, guys, come on, like 60% move on Bitcoin is absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, the amount of money I made up into here, and to think I could have doubled that, whatever. Maybe I should have just taken a bit out, but I was like more than happy to ride this puppy up to 50,000, right? Like I believe this was a Fibonacci level. If I'm not, that's why I took money out here. Let me see. Oops, weekly. Sorry. Let me go over here. Does this not go back in time? Yeah, come on, load. My computer is not loading well today. Sorry about that, guys. But if you go from here to here, yeah. So look, we were getting out here. That's the kind of deal. We were looking to come back to these highs, but I mean, I mean, crazy, right? So, I mean, you can make a lot of money, but in my experience, just don't be effing greedy because like when it goes against you, you think you get a little bit scared when your trade goes down against you. Do it in an inverse perpetual. You're gonna get so puckered, it's crazy. Okay, so make sure you guys are using good risk management. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, Alex, but that I know that's why I wait. I'm really waiting
You know
because
the feel.
because and
When it goes
I think
down, bro, it's like
yeah, because it's
ooh.
compounding, because it's got compounding effect, you know.
Yes.
So and that's why I can tell you that I've only done one before. And I did it
Mhm.
with Bitcoin. And if I would have done it with conviction, but it was the first time, I'd have double the Bitcoin what I have now. So I think it can give you life changing of whatever that is, because you can double,
Mhm.
triple, quadruple your bag, you know, and if it's going up, that compounding effect is just
It's
it,
I would
it
stupid.
say,
you don't even
like,
care about the stupid
Every percent is like, yeah, exactly.
yeah, you don't even care
You're
if
like,
you're
should I
paying two
just
hundred
take it,
dollars.
man? Yeah.
You could be
Whatever. But
paying
the
two hundred
fees,
dollars a day in fees, and you're like, I don't
whatever,
care.
bro. Yeah, exactly, man.
I would say, guys, if you want to get started with inverse perpetuals, just do it with money that you're willing to lose, because let's just. I think I want to explain that once again. You're using, for example, Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin price drops, that means you're purchasing a value drops. And remember that you're using leverage, or usually using leverage. That means your value just also dropped like multiple times, because you're using Bitcoin
Mhm.
that dropped to buy Bitcoin that dropped, right? So it's a double drop. So if it's not even triple, quadruple, or quintuple, right? So a detailed guide on how to do it, you'll need to also look for it on the exchange that you are doing it, because for every exchange has a different way to do inverse perpetual. In some cases, you'll need to download a wallet, and then based on that wallet, do your inverse perpetual. In other cases, you can just straight go into the broker and do just like any other leverage, do your inverse perpetual. Just do a research before you do on your own, on your broker, right? So just so you don't get yes, just so you don't get hurt. In fact, if it's the very first time that you do it, also do it very, very cautious. That's why usually stay away from it. I haven't
And I'm
traded with it because of the risk. I rather go higher in leverage and then just keep a position. I do have a very risky position that I was talking yesterday with Alex Fernandez, in which you add to your losses, but that is meant to be done with a fixed maybe 2x, 3x leverage. I'm just gonna leave it like that until we revise that. I'm not gonna be explaining it because I want you guys to go and just do it without a full explanation. All right, and usually adding to your loss, that is not the way to go unless you're doing a kind of DCA, which is part of a calculation that I have for that strategy. So basically, that is what I got. Just wanted to push that in. That inverse perpetuals, as you guys were saying, when it goes down faster and harder because you're losing value, you're purchasing value, right? So that is kind of like the way it goes.
and Alex, you got balls of steel to even do 5x. My inverse perpetual, the highest that I'll go, and I'll be having the leverage sweats is 3x on my inverse. So,
The
so,
leverage sweats. I love it.
so, so, hey, I know OC and I know Alex, and you both have had the leverage sweats before.
Yeah, when I wasn't, yeah, for sure. Like when I wasn't trading a plan, I mean, if you know your risk and you go into a trade, it should be automatic. You'd be like, okay, I could lose $300 here. That's it, right? And I mean, that's part of trading. But like when you're like, I remember I used to trade with like 75 leverage, like 4 Bitcoin at a time, bro. And like it's quick. Money goes up quick, money goes down quick, right? So it's like now I'm like 40, 30x leverage, right? Still putting quite a bit of size on, but it's like I know what I'm in for because I've gotten to a point where I'm comfortable with the amount of size and the amount of losses I take and with my win rate, right? I know what it looks like to compound accounts and I know what it takes to blow accounts, right? I've done both. So I mean, the leverage sweats are real. Um you want to trade with enough money that you care, but you don't want to trade with too much that you're making decisions based on fear and uncertainty, right? You want to trust your TA and your setup and your trading plan. And sometimes a little bit too much money in a trade can cause you to close trades early, can cause you to uh, want like have wishful thinking, think you're going to make all your money back, over leverage, adjusting your stop loss, yada yada yada, right? And that's what as an educator, we really have to pound home to people because I've been there. I've been there where I'm like, I've over traded $1,000 account when I was new, and I've just cranked the leverage back up to put the same amount of size on just to lose the same amount again, and then I've blown an account, right? And it's like fuck, right? And then you're like, I'm a loser, and then that's a spiral, right? So it's my job to try and tell people, hey man, same trade, same size, risk 2%, repeat, right? Small wins, small losses, big wins, small losses. Keep it real, right?
I
And
do
that's
have a
it.
little bit.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all we can hope.
I do have a little bit
You
of
have to kind of.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna add a caveat to that. In the words, and I'm changing it up. If anybody's ever seen Scarface, there's a part where he says, "All I have is my word and my balls, and I don't break them for anybody." Well, guess what?
Yeah.
All I have is my balls and my rules, and I don't break them for anybody. So,
That's it, man. That's it, right?
Absolutely. I do have a little bit of a something. I have a not financial advice to show you guys. So just make sure that this is a
Uh
not
oh.
financial advice. All right.
Uh oh.
Yes,
La
I love
la
exactly.
la la
Please
these.
la
cover your
la la.
eyes. Yeah. So this is vertical. If you're willing to try it out, or if you want to, for now, stay away, but do the opposite, which is a ton of leverage with a small position. Once again, not advisable. I will show you one of my falling knife strategies. Yes, exactly. So pretend that you're not watching. So falling knife strategies, remember, nobody should be catching falling knives. All right. Having said that, this is what you should not be doing. Not unless you want to do it. That's under your own risk. Buraco, what is the asset that you're planning to, or you were thinking on doing in first trade, and also what time frame were you looking at? By the way, usually BTC, all right, what time frame are you looking at? Usually, whatever you mentioned, nonetheless, I will go for 4 hours, 1 hour, nothing below 15 minutes. So that will be kind of like my way to go. But Oracle 6 hours. All right, perfect. Let's do that. Let's go to a cleaner chart or a little bit of a more of a cleaner chart. Here, I think it's good to remove everything here. And let's go to that 6 hours, right? The thing that I'm going to be adding here is one of my favorite indicators, which is a volume profile bar magnifier order blocks by Jacob Maccabee. Let me show you the settings, which is just the base settings: 7, 10, and close end. All right, 100%. That's it. And I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to turn it on. The rest of them, I'm going to be turning them off. But the only other thing that I'm going to be using, it's either a modify other classical order blocks, or better yet, my predictive ranges. But I'm going to do a little twisting here. I want to go 1 or 2 higher time frames. In this case, maybe daily or something like that. Let me, where are those? Come on. Predictive ranges 15, just instead of chart. Let's go to 12 minutes, 6 hours, 12 hours. Let's just go to 1 day. Here, let's go okay. And I want to have a ton of space, right? Let me just give myself also a bit of spacing here. And I'm going to be looking for impossible targets. That is the key, impossible targets, all right? At this point, what is my impossible target? This area right here. And I will say maybe this area right here, all right? So remember that what we're trying to catch is falling knives, that whenever we risk in, we have enough buffering that also in that movement, just quick in and out, right? Quick in and out, quick in and out. But we're counting with this kind of like a wicking action, this scamming action, right? So what's going to be my first impossible target? I would say somewhere around here. And I will be using let's just say that I have $200 to spare, right? I'm gonna be calculating the size that I need for a stop loss. Maybe this is a little bit too exaggerated. Maybe let's go for something like that at 4.15%, or even a 5 or 6%, right? So you want to give yourself a little bit of a wiggle room there, and then crank up as much as I can my leverage to match this liquidation point, all right, per size. So that would be it. In my first entry, or at least I'm going to be dividing this 200, right, in either one entry here, and the other entry here. And there you have 2 options here. Either you just go in 2x or 3x, so you have enough to add to your next position, all right, and add to your next position. Remember, this is not adding to your losses, because you're planning from the beginning that you're okay to lose it, to burn $200, and then you're planning how not to burn them all, but to insert them as much as possible. All right. So scenario number 1, add to your position, or scenario number 2, go for a relative stop loss in here and be okay whenever you enter here and you get liquidated, and then you do the next right here and the next right here. At one of those points, you're gonna have, remember your stop loss or liquidation point, it is based on 200 divided by 3. Let's just say, what is it? 200 divided by 3. It is 66.6666, right? So you'll be okay losing those 66. But as you go down, you increase your leverage. So let's just say you went to, I don't know, 25x, 50x, 100x, all right, something like that. That will give you at least that buffering area, all right. And so I know 100x is not going to be giving you 4 times. So just take that into consideration, right? And adjust those values so you can do any of those following strategies. This is what I do. I usually go for my possible target, and instead of reaching or having a big stop loss, I just do my entry. This is another kind of like a modification. Long entry, right here, and then I try to have as little as a stop loss and crank as much as I can. So I'm going again. Remember, the trick is impossible targets. So when everybody is caught off guard, right? When everybody gets caught off guard, you are in. That also means that it will, in most of the cases, leave you, but or left you hanging. But whenever you start catching them, right? That's gonna be a very nice trip for you, very nice profits. So once again, this is based on not do this, right? So, or if you're doing it, remember that it's all on you, and this is not financial advice. But that is how I catch, or I try to catch following knives. So that's what I got. We are 5 minutes to wrap things up. Oh, I see Crypto Pollo drop down. By the way, CryptoParty, I think you can go up and down on the chat as you please, on the stage as you please. So let me know if that's is that a thing that you can do. As I have to go, take easy, great day. Thank you for that. CryptoPollo is that was a good that was a good non-financial advice. All right, non-financial advice, please. Alex, anything else that you want to add in the last 4 minutes that we got? Maybe you want to
Yeah, just the column profile bar. I think he's talking about the one on the side here. Uh, this one here. This is in your Dynamics Pro, so you'll be able to find this over here on your volume profile right there. And extend your money flow. Money flow is very good. Put that on as well. It'll help you out finding out where most volume is traded. I think you were talking about that one, Crypto Chef, and that'll be enough out of me. It's gonna be a fun one today, baby. Let's go, Bitcoin. Let's go, Orange Man, Chicken Man, whoever man. Canada is happy too, as long as you pump my bags.
Yeah, same thing, guys. Yeah, yeah, that bar magnified, I have that on my chart all the time. Especially if you're scalping, that's a bad boy to use, man. You'll get really good levels of resistance and and resistance flips, uh, for sure. Support and resistance using that bar magnified for scalping. I mean, I would tell anybody to use that bad boy. That thing is just back test it and you'll see what I'm
It's
talking
cluck cluck. It's cluck cluck proven, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's on my chart every single time. Like that's probably one of my go-to scalping tools to know when to get in and out of trades for sure. For scalping, it's magical. I mean, for any time
Let's
frame,
go.
really. But that is, whoo, just I would tell what we should do is back test that and show people how you use it, OC, because I'd like to see how you use it. I know how I do, but I think that is a very not too many people know about bar magnified for sure volume profiles, but I definitely think it's a really strong tool that people should
Oh
look at.
yes, absolutely. I love it too, especially when everybody thinks that it's gonna hold something, and it just goes right straight to the back magnifier. Love it. Let
Yeah,
me share my
yeah, I
screen
mean,
for.
if
Yep. Go ahead.
for like if you like volume profiles, the bar magnified is like a whole other level of it.
Absolutely. So, Crypto Chef, I do have you covered here. If you go to class recordings right here that I just shared, just click on class recordings, and then you just scroll up a little bit. You'll see a couple of polls open. And right here is where I go over the VPVR that Alex was also talking and you were asking for. This is a full class where I explain and also how I use it and what everything means. So also guys, remember that you can in any class you can open up a poll. Just click this three dots and then you can create a poll. What is it? Create a thread. Sorry, create a thread. And then on that thread, you can ask questions on the class if you just weren't able to assist to the class, or if you have further, if you need further explanation, I'll be more than happy to go over detailed things there and maybe just do some quick Q&A. Other than that, guys, yeah, the poll, nice. Other than that, guys, we are 1 minute out. Alex, I know you got to go. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, see you guys tomorrow night or today night.
Tomorrow, let's
Billions
go.
Tails. Yes, he's gonna be following directions.
All right, take
Good.
care.
Absolutely. Take